So this was, a series of such things that happened. And then you can think about the next big kind of change happens in 2016 onwards, where you have Udan as a scheme that is launched. This is getting into that policy territory, but Udan launches, you have, subsidized routes as well as using price caps on ticket fares. Then the government says we'll give viability gap funding. So a lot of small players enter the market, but it's not it's not sustainable over the long run. So all of them again, kind of exist for a few years, then they disappear. That is again taken over by the big players. So again, concentration happens, right? And finally, the big one is, of course, in 2022, where Air India is privatized, but Air India is privatized as one big unit, and that is sold off to Tata. Tata then further consolidates this with
Vistara.
With Vistara, yeah, correct. Vistara and then AirAsia, right? So big concentration. So we go from, as you say, about 7-8 different players that exist in smaller regional players to now basically two big players. So IndiGo has about 64% market share. Air India has about 26. That makes up 90, and then remaining 10% is taken over by SpiceJet and Akasa Air. So that's the lay of the land, and that's not great. But that's only half the story. If because the true extent of market concentration exists in the kind of competition that exists on particular routes, not just when you take a macro picture, you think, okay, 64% market share with one player, 26 with another. Is that really bad? But then you start looking at the routes, and that is where it gets a lot more worrying in a sense, because so there are about 1,131 routes that exist in India, right? And so if you take Delhi to Mumbai is one route, Mumbai to Delhi is another route, right? And so on and so forth. So there's 1,131 sectors or routes, and IndiGo flies in 900 of this. That is nearly 80% of that. Of that 900, IndiGo runs as a monopoly on 514 routes.
God.
So that translates to 57%. So 57% of the route that IndiGo flies in, it has a monopoly.